It is set for 3 3-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner, Augie Desantis.
Bout number 9 brings us some cage fighting. Little MMA action, light heavyweight division. We have Augie Desantis making his way to the cage first.
Augie. Light heavyweights, the big boys going at it. Devastated by Joey Badass is the tune. Again, Arapahoe Key and Brandon Dodge, big sponsors tonight. King of Sparta Flyweight Series. We've already had the opening round of boxing matches. After this MMA fight, we get into the semifinals of kickboxing with the 4 that advanced. And then 3 MMA fights, 2 more amateur and a pro at 135, and then the final.
Nice. Good way to round out the evening.
And his opponent, fighting out of the Larry H. Miller Chrysler Dodge Ram Fiat of Denver blue corner, Adam Freeman.
Freeman's got some fans in attendance here tonight.
What a great feeling to be walking out and hear half the crowd cheering for you. All right, checking out the tail of the tape. Augie Desantis, 25 years old, is the younger versus the 31-year-old Freeman. Close in height, as it's just 5'9" versus 5'8". Of course, they both made the 205 limit. It is the debut for Mr. Desantis versus the more experienced 2-3-1 MMA fighter, Mr. Adam Freeman.
What do you think of that gaze that Freeman has on that mugshot?
Intimidating. Augie Desantis lists himself as a wrestler. So wrestler versus MMA.
Look grungy. I like it.
Saw a wrestler do well last night, and we did.
Insane in the brain is the tune, and maybe you have to be a little bit to get into the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, this MMA bout is brought to you by Brandon Dodge. Let's meet our fighters first. Fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner from Escondido, California, representing GFS and Jackson's MMA Pueblo, Augie Desantis. And his opponent, fighting out of the Larry H. Miller Chrysler Dodge Ram Fiat of Denver blue corner, from Knoxville, Tennessee, representing DCO MMA, Adam Tiny Freeman.
Tiny he is not.
All right, gentlemen. I gave you instructions
Boy, he
earlier
looks
tonight.
like a big
Fight clean and
205.
fair. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Question out the blue corner. Question from the red corner. Touch gloves, boys. Let's fight.
Let's do it.
Desantis wearing the black trunks, Freeman wearing the red trunks. Light heavyweight action here in the cage. Punchy, kicky, chokey time.
Hey, all right. Here we go. Touch him up. 4-ounce gloves. Light heavyweights. Desantis is taking some shots early.
He got the first punch landed.
Yeah, he
with the
did.
wrestler, but oh, now it's Freeman looking to get the takedown.
And Desantis staves him off.
Good job with the hip positioning. Big knees coming up for Desantis.
Desantis' first debut fight is fairly calm, JR.
I
Could
was
panic
going to
a
say
little bit.
very calm. I see him looking over at his corner, taking instruction, listening to what they want him to do. That is such an valuable skill.
Big fella's tied up right here, and Augustine doing what he can to stay in this. And Freeman right now has got the break, and Desantis strikes on the break. Couple uppercuts by Freeman.
Good job working his hands. Oh, Desantis goes
Oh,
for the
Desantis
uppercut,
scored
but
as well. So does Freeman.
with the jackhammer uppercuts.
Augustine then goes up. That's a time. You can't go to the knees.
Not sure if he hit him in the groin or if he hit him in the chin. You cannot knee to the head of an opponent in the elimination division.
Right.
So just a warning, Freeman didn't even know that it had gone to the head, so obviously that wasn't his target. So no malicious intent there.
Right.
Going to give Desantis a moment to recover.
Making sure to keep those knees to the body. Keep them no knees to the head in amateur MMA. Here we go, fast-paced action back at it. Both fighters have had their moments. Front kick by Freeman.
Oh, and Freeman needs a hard shot from Desantis. Gives him a big smile, says, yep, that was it.
Coming with an overhand left, clubbing left, and Freeman comes crawling.
Freeman wanting to move forward, try to maybe attack the legs, and Desantis listing that wrestling background, showed it off there.
Freeman's breathing a little bit heavy, and Desantis doing a good job right now staying in this fight. Uh-oh, careful there.
The leg goes right into mount. Beautiful transition.
Desantis got to start throwing something right now. I got position in full mount. However, Freeman's trying to grasp a hold of that arm. He's got that left arm.
About 45 seconds left. And you're right, Desantis needs to take advantage of this position while he has it.
And there it is, trying to get a hook in and unable to do so, and he steps out of it, JR.
Freeman with the scramble. Let's see if Desantis can finish off this high crotch single.
Trying to get that guillotine in, but he can't get it through. Sucking down that leg and doing a good job and coming out with that overhand right.
This is a big shot that Desantis needed.
Desantis scoring and doing a good job. First time debut fighter. Freeman on his back, 10-second clacker. Trying for that crucifix. I tell you what, a great recovery. Kind of had Desantis at the beginning scoring the first.
Yeah.
Freeman came back at the Desantis at the end of the round.
Good end of the round for Desantis, no doubt about it.
I'm really agreeing with the in-between round music tonight, man. I'm feeling it. Feel my eyes, that double vision. You know, and you're going to see double vision sometimes tonight in the cage. Had some finishes tonight, much more than last night. I think the crowd's enjoying it.
Good crowd here this evening as well. As it was last night, packed house last night. Seen Desantis doing some work from the mount here on the replay. Just not able to get his hands moving the way that he wanted. Certainly was making good use of that positional dominance, but definitely wanted to get off with some more strikes.
Tell you what, Freeman breathing a little bit hard here. We'll see what Desantis has for him.
There was a lot of work in that first round by both guys.
Desantis, again, pops up that first jab. Coming up with the overhand left. Catches that leg. That was dangerous, and then a big slam to the ground.
Freeman grabbed hold of the neck, wanted to try to pull a guillotine on the way down, and Desantis just separated and slammed him.
Freeman with the bull rush, but I'll tell you what, the wrestling is paying off right now, and again, trying to get back into full mount. Trying to get position right there. He's got to step over, but Freeman right now at the disadvantage because the wrestlers had the better advantage here.
And Freeman looking to his corner for instruction, and they're just telling him hook the arm. They want him to slow the fight down enough. Want to make it so that the referee will bring this back to standing.
Desantis steps over and able to get that cross body on him and get good positioning.
See if he goes for the crucifix again like he did last time. He'll take that right knee, try to put it down on the bicep, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. Freeman getting on the hip, trying to keep that from happening.
Could step back up. It could have stepped over and got into full mount as well, but he tried for that crucifix instead. Had it in the first round as well. Minute 30 left in this second round. Scoring with the left, scoring at the same time while maintaining control.
Good job by Freeman working his way back to his feet. Had to eat a few shots, but definitely says it was worth it as opposed to being down on the ground.
A couple of knees shots by Desantis. Not powerful, but if you can get those in there, they can really do some damage, but unable to really work them.
Spiky knees to the outside of the thigh can be just a brutal weapon.
Kind of got that head shoulder lock in. Tell you what, Desantis doing a good job staying busy, JR.
Yeah, nice job working back and forth, body head. See if he tries to wrap this up, almost a standing cradle.
Don't think he had the positioning or the strength. I mean, Freeman's a load.
Yeah, although we saw him pick him up and spike him earlier.
29 seconds left in this second round, and right now Desantis in his debut fight's doing a good job maintaining control, scoring when he has to, and putting the onus on Freeman to do something. He's not doing much.
Freeman, at one point had worked his way back to his feet. Desantis showing that good wrestling control. 10-second clacker sounded, so we're going to take it into round 3.
And don't think that this does not wear on Freeman. He just has not been able to get up and get through to the wrestler, who's doing a great job.
Checking out the replay here by Larry H. Miller, and big body kick. Landed well for Desantis, but Freeman said, I will take that if it gives me these kinds of opportunities. Just beautifully timed on the catch, the pickup, and the dump there by Desantis.
There are a lot of debut fighters and debut MMA fighters come in and really uncertain, and I thought he was very calm coming in, and it really has paid off for him. Done some great work, and I'll tell you, when you're a wrestler, you know, you're used to grinding. You have that advantage of what it takes.
And you've been on the mat 400 or 500 times a tournament since you were a kid.
Absolutely.
Wrestling 3-5 times a day.
All right, third and final round. Here we go.
And
Freeman.
Big deep breaths by Freeman.
Yeah. Desantis feigning low. Both men on their feet, powerful body kick. Ooh, nice left.
Freeman's one tough character. Boy, he just takes every hard punch there is and greets it with a smile.
Right, a leg kick, and he's got a little bit of gas tank problem, I believe, JR. And Desantis right now doing a great job getting position, following the 1-2 punch, and getting another takedown and breaking down Freeman.
Good job by Desantis making sure that the strikes were legal. They're very particular about their back of the head strikes here in Colorado, so you got to make sure that at least some portion of your fist is getting some portion of their ear, otherwise they'll consider it back of the head.
Freeman right now trying to keep that head and protected, but really the riding time right now, no competition, as Desantis is just trying to score and ride this out to victory.
Freeman doing a good job with his defense, wrapping up the wrist on the right side of Desantis, shuts down some of that striking.
Problem is, JR, he's behind in the scorecards, and this is going to win him the fight.
Yeah, it's not doing anything to help him improve his position. You're exactly right.
That'll do it. He's going to stand him up.
That's exactly why Freeman was doing that. He wanted the stand up.
Well, that's Freeman's only chance is to try to get a knockout, because I have him down in this on both rounds going into this third round.
And even in the standing, no real distinct advantage to Freeman. It's just there's such a huge disadvantage whilst on the ground.
And another great shot by the left hand by Desantis.
And Desantis just body locks him and pulls him down to sitting.
Moves over to side control. Freeman just trying to look over his corner, looking for some instruction here.
Stepping over to mount as Desantis gets one strike in. Freeman able to get his knees under him.
27 seconds left in this round. And Desantis, yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, Desantis coming in as a debut fighter. Has really been calm, cool, and collected.
Couple of big shots, going to try to finish out the round and let the judges decide it for us. Good sportsmanship by these guys. Freeman just saying, hey, you just had too much control for me.
Yeah, I know, JR, I don't know that Freeman, when he looked over his corner, you look over to your corner for instruction, but there's a couple times in that fight, you kind of got to know what to do.
Yeah.
And when you've been in the ring that 6 times, this is your 7th. Freeman's gassed.
On the replay here by Larry H. Miller, we're seeing good work with the body lock by Desantis. Doing exactly what he needs to do, drag this fight to the ground, and we saw it time and again as soon as he was able to get it to the ground. Just control and positional dominance. Not a ton of striking that was super effective for Desantis, but that's something that will come into his game as his career progresses.
Figuring out a lot of things in your debut fight, and you've got a fighter that's unsure of what he's doing, and there were some moments in that fight where maybe you had the opportunity to finish it or at least apply more pressure. But a good debut fight.
Yes.
And we've seen a couple tonight. We've seen a couple in the boxing ring.
Thanks to Arapahoe Kia and Brandon Dodge for sponsoring this fight. Fighters to the center. Take it away, Big Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of 3 full rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard for your decision. All 3 judges at ringside scored about 30 to 27, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Augie Desantis.
Well, debut fight, you get a unanimous decision and an interview with Bailey winners.
Well done, sir. To the victor goes the spoils.
Correct, sir.
All right, guys, I'm here in the cage with your winner, Augie Desantis. How's it feel to get the victory tonight?
It feels good, getting the victory on my first fight. I'm retired, so I didn't expect that. I thought I had some good cardio with what we've been doing with our team and everything, so I'll have to work on that.
This was your debut tonight, first time coming into the cage. What was going through your mind right before the fight?
Calmness. I was calm. I know most people get jitters, but my training partner is also my coach, so I get jitters going against him more than anyone else. So.
You have a strong wrestling skill set. That was kind of the key to victory for you tonight. Was this how you expected the fight to go?
Definitely, yes. I expected to go to the ground. I was more expecting second and third round, but it happened first, so I was happy with the result.
I'm sure there's some people that you want to thank tonight.
I want to thank my team, my family, my friends, just for everything they've done for me.
Congratulations on the great win. Good job.
Thank you.